as physicians, we know that what we do now will affect the future for us all.
The COVID-19 vaccine is now available. It's safe and very effective, and it's a great defense against coronavirus.
But we still need to continue to mask up, socially distance, and get tested.
Getting vaccinated will help us all get back to some semblance of normalcy.
Let's get vaccinated and tell your friends and family to do the same.
Memphis and Shelby County, get vaccinated. It's our best shot.
Man, good afternoon. How y'all gentlemen doing?
We well, brother.
Man, we got a shot talk for today. I hope y'all ready. Man, we got an amazing group today. We're going to be talking about the vaccine and COVID.
Yeah.
All right? And I'm just so excited about the opportunity that we have today, man, just to inform our community, you know, and be able to get some perspective for some heavy hitters, you know, across this city, man, to get their thoughts and their opinion. But before we get started, man, y'all see what's behind me, man? I want to give a shout out to the city of Memphis and Blue Cross Blue Shield who was able to make this happen, man. We really appreciate, you know, the support and just being able to see a vision and put an event like this on so we can get this information out, you know, to the public just to inform them, you know, on the vaccine and just the different experiences. So kudos to the city of Memphis and Blue Cross Blue Shield. You know, but before we get started, gentlemen, you know, the pandemic has impacted us all, right? And especially here in Tennessee, we've had over 870,000 cases of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic and over 13,000 deaths, you know, since the pandemic has started. Yeah. You know, and so as we're trying to get back to normal, right, trying to get back outside, right, trying to get back outside, there's so much stuff going on. You know, and as of currently, we got a little over 700,000, you know, Tennesseans that have been vaccinated. But, you know, there's also almost 100,000 cases of COVID-19 in our state alone still. Yeah. Right, so we got a long way to go to really get back on track. Yeah. You know, but what I want to do today is have this conversation with you all just to talk about, you know, how COVID-19 has made an impact on you and just get your thoughts, your opinions on the vaccination, you know, how was quarantine, what did you learn from that? Yeah. You know, and let's just get more informed, right? Because it's all about being more informed, you know, and getting information out there, you know, to people that look like us for our community so that we can be make better decisions, right? Because information changes situations. So, again, kudos to the city of Memphis and Blue Cross Blue Shield. But, man, we're going to get this conversation started because I know y'all ready to dive in.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, one thing that I think that we need to do and that we need to focus on is that, you know, race plays a huge role, you know, in how people view the vaccine and how they view treatment, right? You know, just historically, you know. And what I want to talk today to you gentlemen about today is just your thoughts on the vaccine, how has it impacted you, you know, and, you know, just go from there. We'll let the conversation go wherever it desires. But is that okay with y'all? Y'all gonna kick with me for a little bit and talk a little bit about COVID?
Yeah, man.
All right. So, you know, a couple of things I do want to introduce because we got some heavy hitters, y'all. All right, we got some heavy hitters today with us, and I'm so excited and humbled to just be able to moderate this panel. But we got my guy Lyndon Baskin. You want to talk? You want to just introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself? I know you're a big time real estate agent.
Oh,
you know,
man.
man.
All the money.
I'm getting all the money.
I wish I was,
yourself
man.
a little bit?
Well, I'm Lyndon Baskin, known as the Grit and Grind Realtor. Just here, excited to be with these men here, these great men, and good company. So.
Absolutely. Then we got, you know, a superstar, you know, the Councilman J.B. Smiley Jr. What's up, JB? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. Just happy to be here.
For the people that don't know, man, introduce yourself real quick, you know, and just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Councilman Smiley, lawyer by trade, native Memphian, doing everything I can to uplift a community that has been disinvested from for a very long time. So I'm of the people, for the people, fighting for the people.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
And then last but certainly not least, my brother, Mr. Kenneth Worlds, man, you know. I mean, you know, you're a big boss here in the city, you know, but I most definitely want to.
Adjacent to the bosses, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we sitting there, so
No,
hopefully
sir.
they'll rub off on us.
No,
You know what I'm saying? But, man, Kenneth, man, would you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, most definitely. So, I'm Kenneth Worlds. I am the president at 3i Creative Communications. And so, you know, for us, it's about helping communities, do-gooders, and creating better tomorrows. And so that's a little bit about me. I'm, you know, husband, father,
Yeah, congratulations.
New father.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
new
Real new.
Right.
Yeah.
North Memphis representative.
North Memphis. That's where we at right now, North Memphis, man. You know, doing
Yeah.
our thing out here in Smoky City. So,
Yeah.
but now, let's get started. I know, man. I know we got some questions that I wanna, ask you all. I know that everybody kind of want to know.
Yeah.
So, man, let's kick this thing off. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the first question I want to know is how has COVID impacted our community, whether it's been positive or negatively?
Yeah.
Just share your thoughts on that real quick. How has COVID impacted our community, whether it be positive or negatively?
I think it's twofold. Obviously, COVID has disparately impacted the black community. We look at the vaccine rollout, specifically in Memphis and Shelby County, the vaccine sites, they didn't pop up in the black communities. It took some time for it to come into black communities. If we look at the way that COVID has impacted black and brown communities, it disproportionately affected black people. When we looked at all the numbers across the board, the people who were going to the hospital, the people who were sick, they looked like everybody in this room. So from that standpoint, it was negative because people were dying, and oftentimes they looked like me.
Yeah.
But not only that, but there is also a positive role. You see that COVID has caused us to better utilize technology. It has brought people closer together because you start to value and appreciate the time you have with the people you love. So from that aspect, I think it was also positive. But losing life is always a bad thing, but we always try to look on the bright side of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think, negatively, I mean, it was tough overall, right? Like nobody want to see people dying. From a business standpoint, 40% of black-owned businesses across the country had to shut down for good.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
Hold on, when you say for good, you mean
for good,
doors
it's
closed,
over. Yeah, not
opening,
pausing.
no.
It's over.
Yeah, not pausing. Like
Wow.
they done it. And so you see so many challenges and roadblocks, right? If I got to deal with my health scares, I gotta make sure my kids are in school or virtually at home. I gotta make sure I got enough toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And water.
Enough water. But I also gotta make sure I don't die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think
It's real.
it was stressed out. Everybody was stressed, man. And I think the impact it left is like trauma, right? We don't ever want to go through that again. So I think it's cool being able to see hindsight and like, damn, that was rough. Thank God we got past, but a lot of folks didn't, and a lot of folks still in the trenches right now.
And the marriages, the divorce rates are on the uptick too. I guess when you're in close confines like that.
Yeah, you got tired of that girl. You got tired of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jeremy, he not talking about you. You know what I'm saying? Not you.
Not you.
You heard that somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? LB, I know you got something to talk about, about how has it positively and negatively impacted our communities.
Negatively, I know we mentioned the businesses. So you have a lot of brick and mortar, going away.
Yeah, the real estate. Yeah.
But it's been tough, man. I think it's been even tougher for our families. I know me personally, without going into too much detail, my marriage was impacted. My wife's a nurse, so having her deal with those stresses at work, and then having to come home, that's tough. And the duration of the pandemic, I don't think people understand. The pandemic lasts a long time. It's still going. So, for me, that was just the most important, thing that happened to me. It's just my family just impacted so many people personally. So many loved ones.
But man, first I want to say, man, you married the hero. So man, kudos
Shout out
to
to
your
that.
wife, man, for being on the front lines and really helping us, man, get this thing under control and just, really taking care of people. I know it's a tough job, putting herself at risk, her and her family at risk. So man, kudos to you and your wife for man, pushing through that.
Most definitely.
But man, when the pandemic first started, right, and they said we was going on lockdown, right, we had to be quarantined.
Yeah.
Like, what was something that you learned during the quarantine? Because that quarantine lasted for seemed like 2-3 years.
It did.
It wasn't that long, right? But we all had to quarantine, stay in the house, wear our masks. Like, how what did you learn from the quarantine that you'd like to share with the people today?
Man, you know, it's funny. You learn how to make something happen. You know, like we be acting like we don't know what we doing or how stuff can get down. But I think, you know, you found a way to have a good dinner. Yeah. He found a way to have some fun. You know, you made something happen. Here with business, my company, man, we found a way to make some money. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it just brought out the hunger and one, let me also say that, you know, in these tough situations, we shouldn't have to, you know, be obligated to pull out certain characteristics of ourselves to make it happen. But thank God that we were able to do so. You able to create, you know, during that time. That would be my situation. I learned.
So from a different perspective, in addition to that, because I tell people growing up in Memphis, there's just something in you. You want to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
In addition to that, something that I learned, or I would phrase it this way, I had a better appreciation for was the frontline workers. What I did not know is how involved the fire department is. The fire department had a very active role in getting the COVID vaccine shots out, coordinating with the groups of organizations, and the police department. Every single day while we were sheltering in place, the police department was out in the streets. Every single day while we were having conversations with our family, the police department was out there. So had a very different understanding, different appreciation for our first responders. In addition to that, not only were we in the house, the Uber drivers were bringing us our food.
Getting it, man. For sure.
In addition to that, the grocery stores were still open. So for everyone who were still working while we were at home, sheltering in place, man, I say kudos to them, and just have a different appreciation for the folks who fast food workers. When they talk about 5 for 15, I stand with you. Because when we were at home, when I needed some food, you were there for me. A deeper understanding, a deeper appreciation for those individuals who I would consider frontline workers. Frontline workers don't just stop at our law enforcement, don't just stop with our fire department, but also includes our fast food workers. And, on a personal note, I've learned how to, when I'm going through stress, work out. I had to figure out how to, relieve that stress in a positive way. And for me, it was working out to try to maintain what I consider a sense of normalcy.
But I knew you looked a little different, JB. That's what it makes sense.
Look, he been in it. Listen, he post all his buff pictures on Instagram. He be flexing on Instagram.
He got the most fit councilman in the nation.
Go hard, brother.
Kobe, what about you?
I'm gonna go a little deeper for me, man.
Go deep.
Take us there, brother. Take us.
I'm just saying, I just learned that corporate America is a little bit more flexible. It's like,
talk about it.
You go. This was like, man, why couldn't y'all be more flexible when we needed y'all?
For sure.
Needed y'all to be, right? So, they learned how to operate around COVID when they had to. But when, you got your working mother who has to get all the way across town and she couldn't,
Cutthroat.
It cutthroat. You fired. So
and now it's like,
you work.
Well, I guess you can work from home. You can use it. Right.
So that bothered me a little
bit. They gave
out
free computers and everything, man. They got real generous during the COVID.
Well, not necessarily. So the wealth gap between owner and the workers grew.
For sure.
So they were still greedy. But they were flexible in their work schedule. So could have been doing that, right?
Could have been giving us the flexibility we needed.
So
for a lot of us, Kenneth, he's an entrepreneur, he got his own business, we always learn how to operate and move in that aspect. And I'm a real estate agent, and I'm a former police officer, so definitely kudos to the frontline workers. That's amazing. What they do, I would never take for granted.
Get them their pay raise.
Got some other issues, but with that, they show up for that.
They showed up.
They showed up and showed out for that. So
that's what's up. Man, so as we try to get back to some form of normalcy, not just here in Memphis, but nationwide and worldwide, right? There's so many options and so many opinions, but we got to talk about the main thing, the vaccine, right? We got to talk about it. You got so many, you got Johnson & Johnson, you got Pfizer, you got all these different options that people are pushing, to say this is the best form of prevention or the best form to help fight outside of using your mask and social distancing.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the vaccine, and being vaccinated? Like, what are y'all thoughts about the vaccine in general?
Ooh. So I guess I will start by saying this. I'm gonna talk about the reason I got it.
Okay.
Actually, my father got his vaccine first. My father's 74 years old, has congestive heart failure, and for him, you're not coming in this house if you didn't have a vaccine.
Yeah.
Stop at the door, drop everything at the door, and get on it. I tell people all the time. Yeah, and it's spraying it down.
And I need your card. Let me see your card.
Show me your card. I need to see your Band-Aid.
Everything.
Band-Aid.
So for me, I tell people my father's sick.
Yeah.
He has pre-existing conditions. He's vaccinated, and I want to spend every moment I can with my father because you never know when it's gonna be the last time.
Sure.
So if my father said you got to get a vaccine to step in this house, for me I had to go get my vaccine. And not only did I go get my vaccine, my father rode with me in the car to make sure I got my vaccine. he was not playing, and he took himself very seriously. So for me, it wasn't necessarily for me.
Yeah.
It was for the people that I was around, like my father.
Absolutely.
And for me, I think it was I'm a social person, and me and my wife social, like real super social. We get out in these streets, and
he said they outside.
we outside again. We back outside. So for me, it was about being able to get back outside, man. We love traveling, to do what we need to do to travel. To we like hosting parties and bringing people together. So having people trust us to make that make a space for them. It was about that, and then last but not least, solely not least, man, having a newborn in the place. That's still not enough information around what this do for babies. Yeah. And so for me, it's like I ain't finna take no risk.
Yeah, the risk.
You do what I'm saying? And so. Yeah. I just needed to make sure, just like from getting your financials together for 529 accounts and getting your baby crib together to make sure they have somewhere for safe sleep. Also, I was like, what's my health like, and how do I bring them in the house where we ain't coughing and sneezing and snot nose because we ain't we couldn't take the vaccine. So that was my reasonings.
Abby, what about you?
So what I'm gathering here is all three of us are family, man. He talked about his dad.
Yeah.
He talked about his newborn, and I just got to piggyback off that. For me, it was all about being a leader. I think one of our first opportunities to lead in life is taking care of our family.
Yeah.
So I had an elderly that had to move in with me due to some health issues.
Yeah.
So although I did not feel comfortable with the vaccine personally, I felt it was my obligation to lead and take this vaccine so everybody can feel comfortable and I can make sure that my family is taken care of or they feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted them to, if there was any shot that, I can do something to make sure that they live longer, then I'm going to take it. I don't care what's wrong with it. And that's just me. That's just a part of me being the person who I am. It wasn't about me. It just wasn't about me.
Right.
It was about everybody else.
Yeah.
What vaccine, gentlemen?
No, man, listen, man. Well, no, man, I got the 2-shot.
I got the Moderna.
The Moderna combo piece, man. I think, got the little 2-shot combo. So
I'm fires it up over here, brother.
Fires it up,
man.
And that's what I think. That's what the campaign needs to be like, promoting what you got, like brands. Yeah. Like I'm rocking the new Gucci.
What's that you with?
I'm fires it up, bro.
Got that new Pfizer. What you talking about? You got the,
Yeah.
Okay. So nobody got that Johnson though.
Hey man, listen, man. Look,
it wasn't out when I was.
That's it. It wasn't out yet. It wasn't out. We got a tour.
I got to take what was given to me.
Listen, man. I think, man, regardless of what you get, man, just stay safe up, wrapped up.
So
he said, "Get your shot, brother. Get your shot.
Get your shot.
Get the right shot." Okay.
So just for those who have not received the shot, or those who maybe have, but there are still a lot of questions, a lot of concerns,
for sure,
about the side effects, the research of it.
Yeah,
you three gentlemen have most definitely took a courageous stance to say, I'm gonna do it for the reasons that you've already stated. Like, what was your experience with getting the vaccine? Like, Y'all look like y'all in good. Y'all look like y'all in good. I done heard stories about people being able to. They got RFID cards in them.
Yeah, man.
What was y'all experience?
I got the little Apple chip in my arm now, man. Nah, man. I think it was cool. Like, I mean, any vaccination is gonna have, you know, and like I like to talk about, you know, my child is getting a 2-month vaccination, a 4-month vaccination, you know, and even with folks that's used to getting flu shots or whatever it is, man, you're gonna get a little pain afterwards to, you know, to get you right, but it's temporary. It's like it was real. I ain't have no shakes or nothing like that. But but I also want to say, like, you know, the body is different, and so my experience, I can't 100% say that everybody else is gonna have that, but for the most part, my household is cool. You know, as of right now, we straight, and so we didn't have any pains. We had some arm soreness after the shots, but for the most part, man, we was good to go, man. Back on our feet and in somebody's restaurant trying to eat up all that food.
Absolutely, man. Other than, you know, the arm soreness, the same arm soreness I get when I take the flu shot.
Yeah.
So I was out the next day. I was out moving around, wasn't worried about anything. I was running. Matter of fact, I went running the next day. The next morning, I got the shot at like 11:57 p.m. that night.
Okay.
Because the next night I bought everybody breakfast.
Yeah.
But I went running. I was good.
I don't know how you did that, man. My arm was a little tender because I couldn't move it like that.
It was either that or continue staying in the house and gain weight, and I'm not about that life.
Oh,
well, you know what? See, that's my problem.
Not
about
that life, brother.
Yeah, man. I was like, I was making excuses. My arm too, so I need to eat cheesecake more.
Yeah, real talk.
Cheesecake corner, okay.
Yeah.
What's the remedy for this, man? I need a little like ice cream or something.
Yeah.
For sure.
Some sweets. No, I felt perfectly fine. Other than the arm soreness, I had no side effects at all. My day went completely normal, and I got it early. I think I got my shot December 30th, so I was one of the first.
Shout out to being the front line.
You was there when
he was the guinea pig.
You was the guinea pig.
Yeah, I got my shot extremely early. I had heard, you know, stories about people not feeling well after their second shot or feeling a little under the weather. But like I said, my day went completely normal.
Dang.
My second one, completely normal.
Same.
Everybody in my household, likewise. So,
good. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really see any.
You feeling fine now too, right?
And I'm feeling
not a zombie.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
But if you gonna be a zombie, at least be able to know to do the Thriller dance with it.
You gotta be able to do it.
You gotta be able to hit it.
Yeah,
but you.
I'm not a dancer.
There you go. There you go. So, you know, like, as we want to bring, again, this whole thing is designed to bring more awareness.
Yeah.
You know, just to the vaccine, just give people more information. We're not telling you what to do or how to do it or what decision to make.
Yeah.
I think the goal here is to just inform.
Yeah, for sure.
Get information and you read through it, apply it, and think through how you want to, then apply how you feel, right? You know, but how have you encouraged others, you know, to get the vaccine or just to encourage others to consider being vaccinated?
I mean, you know, I got family members that are pro vaccinations, anti vaccinations, and I mean, I think it's again about protecting everybody, right? I mean, it is people that aid to your life that you don't even know, right? Yeah. And so being able to be respectful for them and the same, giving them the same respect that you would want if you was working at Target, you know what I'm saying, Kroger or McDonald's. Absolutely. And like going in these spaces and just half y'all ain't gonna wear the mask anyway, fam. So if y'all ain't gonna wear the mask, but y'all finna just throw it all on this person that y'all want to make y'all McDouble and fries, at least be courteous, right? And that ain't even your family, right? If I'm gonna hit the club, cause I know I'm gonna be at, you know, I was all out at the all white affair or you know the Can I Live weekend. It's if I'm gonna be there, let me be respectful to these folks that came in to have a good time. And so for me to be in that space and be considerate of them while they turning up to Yo Gotti or Dolph, I'm a, you know. And so that's what I've been telling. Like, look, fam, you ain't just doing this for yourself. You're doing this for all of us so we can all get back to folk folly, to get back to, you know, the pocket, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, I think the people we have the biggest influence over are the people we can pick up our cell phone and call. So for me, I was sending text message out, but you know, in my role on the city council, I sponsored a resolution so we can fund church pop-up vaccination sites. Because I think a lot of times in the black community, there was, widespread vaccine hesitancy, but a place that older folks go, a place that young folks go, that they always rely on is that local church.
Yeah,
We can get the local pastor, the local church to buy in to whatever the vaccine is.
Yeah.
We can possibly get those people who live in those surrounding communities. So we sponsored, I think, about 10 or so vaccine pop-ups locations on the weekend. And, in my opinion, those were some of the most successful because the old grandmother who didn't get the information from social media, they was able to get it from those folks who go to church.
Yeah, absolutely.
The grandmother who didn't feel comfortable going to the Pipkin building and waiting in that long line, she felt comfortable going into sitting in that pew waiting on her pastor to come say a few words to her before she got that shot. So, I've been doing everything in my power to make sure that we move the needle forward in terms of vaccination sites, because we talk about, I think you said like 700,000 people have been vaccinated.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, the state of Tennessee is 47th. We're doing I hate to be so direct and so frank about it, we're doing a piss poor job of getting people to take the COVID-19 vaccination.
Yeah.
We have to do better. We have to speak to the communities who have been left behind.
Well, I think it's less about we 47 in vaccinations and making them more, closer to home and saying, hey fam, we 47 and not taking care of our families.
Not taking care of our
Or
families.
we 47 and not being healthy. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or
Absolutely.
47 and almost dying. Or,
dying, not almost.
Facts. I think that's where it needs to change.
The framing of it.
Yeah.
We get so we get a lot of the people. I think a lot of people feel like, this country has not been kind to blacks.
Yeah.
Throwing a lot of shade on blacks.
It ain't.
A lot of shadiness been going on with things
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So our community, they're afraid, they're scared.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, what I have to start with myself is by educating myself. Just educating myself as much as possible. And I did that by just talking to people of power that are black.
Yeah.
My neighbors are black doctors.
Yeah.
So
They know.
I started a conversation with them and they, help educate me so that, when I'm out, when I'm speaking to people, when I'm with my friends, when we hanging out, I can, be better informed and give them more confidence about taking it. So I feel like education is key, especially in Memphis, man. Because if we don't know, we not taking it.
Man,
We know we're not gonna do it. So we need.
But you want to know what's crazy, fam? We don't be knowing what's in them 2-for-1s at the club.
Nope, we don't.
And we don't know what's in that doggone McDouble neither.
We definitely don't know what's in that big double.
You know how we operate, bro.
Oh,
You know how we operate.
Hey.
Double.
Listen,
Hey,
fam.
that big double got you through college though.
Hey,
Got you through high
right.
school.
But we
The
don't
dollar
know.
menu got
But
me
if
up
I
there,
ask
right?
You know what I'm
you,
saying?
but if
You
I
got you
ask you
through.
what's in it,
I survived.
you did.
I
And
survived.
so
Yeah.
that's my only concern with the, we don't know what's in it. I'm like, fam, you ain't know
Half the
that.
stuff we eat.
You ain't know that dude that gave you his number at the club.
Do you feel like our black leaders are pushing it enough in Memphis? And I mean our black leaders, like in Memphis. Do you feel like they're
No.
exactly?
I think
that's all it is, right
Yeah.
there. If they just push it, we'll be fine.
We'll be straight.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
And so I don't.
If Dolphin Gotti got on a telegram and said take the shot, you think more people would take the shot?
Yep.
But so
There's no doubt about
so to that point, real quick.
And
you
I say
said-
leaders, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we can
We
go
can do
higher
more.
than that. We can do
we can
more.
do more.
It's just
I mean, so you just said something that's interesting, right? So I saw something on IG the other day where they Juvenile done remixed back that thing and backs that thing up, And I just read the comments real quick. Man, Juvenile, how much they had to pay you to make this right here? And like the sellout, like what about the people who feel like
That's
man,
true.
the vaccine
It's another
that's about
aspect about
supporting
it.
it, like you really like you selling I think that's a big part. Cause we're gonna talk
sure.
about a group that's really not getting the vaccine right now.
For sure.
But what do you think about what do you say to the person that feel like by you going to get it, you selling out, or you not like you really? Yeah, I'm gonna just say that.
What's your most common vaccine other than before a pandemic? Everybody got this vaccine. Even the people that's not taking vaccine, not the flu shot.
Yeah, the polio.
You got
like no chicken pox?
all your Thank you.
Chickenpox.
Oh, chickenpox. Okay,
That's
okay.
a vaccine. Do you know how many vaccines people there is, and people don't know realize that's a
Ain't
vaccine?
nobody got polio
Going to
no more.
school, you take
Have
all the
these
That's what I'm
vaccines.
saying. You
All
took
the
all
vaccines.
of them to go to college. All of them
Educate
to not go,
yourself.
to go to high school. Like you ain't.
Do we know what those vaccines are? Did your parents know? You took those vaccines.
Took
and you're
those
okay.
vaccines.
So
So
do you think vaccines just sound more dangerous than shot?
I think it's just a scare because it's the pandemic. It's just
Okay.
it's COVID, so
Okay.
it's something new.
We don't know. We haven't
don't know.
experienced
We
it.
haven't experienced
Because
this before. Yeah.
after several generations of kids getting shots to go to school and nothing happened, it's a part of life now. You get what I'm saying? And so, of course, when you have kids, you gonna make sure they get the shots. And everybody the crazy part is everybody that's saying I don't want to take it are making sure their kids get the shots to go to school. You know?
So let's talk about not taking the vaccine. So as of right now, why do you believe that the Gen Z and millennials aren't receiving the vaccines? Like when they look at the data and they pull it, those two groups are the two groups that are the ones that are seemingly saying no, or that are unvaccinated. Why do you believe that's the case?
Cause we feel like we invincible.
Yep.
We don't think we dying no time soon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't be thinking about, Gen Z and millennials ain't thinking about retirement either. They ain't thinking about
Not saving.
We ain't thinking about a lot of stuff that's going to affect us at 50 and 60. And so we ain't thinking about death. Because reality is we think death is 60,
So far
70, 80 years old. And so us not, thinking we going to die, like, especially early on when that was like, well, your Gen Z is getting it, but they ain't dying. So we were like, bet.
I'm good. I got you.
Let me go. I don't need no shots. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what it is. This lack of fear of death. And so that's my thoughts.
Yeah. In addition to that, misinformation. If we talk about, I joke with LB earlier when I talked about did you turn into a zombie? Yeah. But the truth of the matter is there's misinformation about
folks really think this is gonna happen.
Really think people really believe that you're gonna have some type of crazy side effect, that the vaccine is gonna kill you, that the process to put the vaccine out wasn't vetted, it's not approved, but we're just putting people in. So I think misinformation, in addition to folks just thinking they're invincible, don't see death in their near future, so they're not concerned about it. I think all of those things play into why our generation and Gen Zs have said, I'm good.
I'm good.
Good.
I think we have to do a better job of putting out the right information. I think we have to do a better job of just letting people know. And I think the better job isn't social media, isn't just mass media. I think at some point in time, we have to care enough about these disconnected communities and say, look, just like we go door to door for every other campaign, like we go to door, post our party flyers, like we go to door to put our campaign literature, we can go to door and say, look, this is why this is important. Mm-hmm. Not if you're not taking it for yourself, take it for your grandma. If you're not taking it for your grandmother, take it for your child, because this pandemic is not going to go away if folks don't take the necessary steps to protect themselves.
For sure.
We're 47 for a reason. The Delta variant is here and it's real.
It's real. It's absolutely real. This reminds me of a conversation I overheard my son on the phone. He was saying, yeah, my parents, they think this COVID thing is this real thing, And I'm just listening to him like, dude, you at home on the computer. You can't even go to school.
You're right.
How real does it need to be?
You ain't seen your friends in 12 months.
So they just don't, I don't think death, I mean, we lost loved ones, but for them, death it just didn't hit them like it hit us.
Yeah.
Like, us losing some of the people we care about, the elderly we care about. So,
or even just, even if we didn't lose them, we saw folks close, man. It was just like, damn, your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, your dad.
Brother.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man.
Your uncle, your grandparents. Mm-hmm. I went to a funeral.
Yeah.
Lost somebody. Seen somebody lose.
Yeah.
Hey man, you said something. You said that like we think we ain't gonna die, right? And I think part of it, I wonder, is it because we done been through so many tragedies, like from 9/11 to the financial crisis in 2008. Like this group has been through so many things that have shaped the world that'll go down as major things. And you're like, bro, I made it. I survived all that.
I know.
It's just another thing. But then I also wonder, like, you know, that sometimes we get so local. When I say local, like, the vaccine ain't just in America. Like, this thing worldwide, right? So what are other countries that are operating outside of the U.S. that's trying to get their economy back going, trying to get their people? So we're not the only one, the only nation that's administering the vaccine. Like, this thing happening worldwide, from, you know, man, from Africa to Iran to, you know, Dubai to Australia. Like, everybody across the globe.
Yeah, but realistically, G, I only been in North Memphis.
True.
And so I don't even care about that part yet. I ain't only been in Memphis, fam. I ain't. The furthest I got is, you know,
Shelby County, Bartlett.
No, I went to Atlanta. You get what I'm saying? I made it to Atlanta, but I can't even grasp the concept of Australia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That just sounds.
That's too far. So I think that's another component to what you're talking about. Is it looks worldwide because the CNN said, but reality, man, we just in.
Yeah, we local. We in our world.
What happened over there ain't gonna happen over here.
Yeah,
we right here in North Memphis. Again, North Memphis, Spoken City.
Yeah, that's all we can think about right now. Long as the corner store is open, long as, you know, the corn laundry is open, we straight. And I think, you know, that's some of the issue that has to happen, where we got to be expand that and see that we all in this together. You know?
Yeah. So we got to get ready to kind of bring this thing to a close. But, you know, man, since all three of you are vaccinated, like, how do you feel now getting back outside, like you said, right? Yeah. Now you can do more social things. Now you can be outside more and do outdoor activities. You know, how does that feel? Like, how comfortable do you feel now to do those things now that you're vaccinated?
I feel better, you know, but I still want to be careful. I don't want to get complacent.
Facts.
Because I feel like that's what got us in the situation we're in now, facing this pandemic. So I feel comfortable, but I don't want to get complacent. It feels good to, you know, be able to go out to eat with my family or something like that, or my wife. But I don't want to get complacent and, you know, just forget everything that, you know, that caused us to get here.
So for me, I will phrase it this way: cautiously optimistic. What I mean by that is, I'm enjoying, I guess, being outside for this time being, but every event I attend, I'm looking like, hey, I got those temperature checks? Because in my mind, I know people still are getting COVID. In my mind, I know Delta variant is running rampant and people are the number of hospitalizations are on the uptick. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm vaccinated, but I don't know if the person next to me is.
Yeah.
And I walk in some spaces, they're still wearing masks, so I carry my mask because I feel comfortable. I'm gonna pull out my pocket and say, look, I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm feeling uneasy, I'm gonna put my mask on.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, I need that temperature check when I walk in the door. Because when I'm in a space with a lot of people, I need that temperature check, because if they experience some form of COVID symptoms, nah, fam, you can't come here.
Yeah, because let's be clear, we know that the vaccination protects us from dying. It don't protect us from not getting COVID.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so you still got to be on high alert.
Yeah, gotta be.
You know what I mean? And I think, but I do think it again, it brings some clarity and safety to your situation around death, right? And so I think the more and more we have people being safe, right? It ain't just getting the vaccine, because even once you get the vaccine, you know, keep a mask nearby. Yeah. You know, still wash your hands. You know, keep some toilet paper at the crib. Like, you know,
keep that on deck.
Keep that toilet paper down.
Keep that toilet paper on deck. I mean, if anything, still be cautious and still be protecting yourself and your family. And so that should never end. I think that's one of the things we should learn from the overall pandemic, is like, it's easy to, you know, get slip and not protect your family. So your friends, not even just your family. You may not have no family, but your homeboys, your gang, that's your family, and they need to be protected too.
Yeah. So let me ask you this as we get ready to wrap up. I'm gonna ask you this last question, then we're gonna have final thoughts, all right?
Yeah.
But like, now that we're getting back to normal, getting to some form of normalcy, kids are going back to school, right? I know here in the city, Shelby County schools will be going back into the classroom. The colleges will be going back full go. Limitations have been lifted. You know, people are going back into the office. Corporate America is opening its doors, right? You know, how do you think life moving forward will change now that we've been through the pandemic? Like, how do you feel like it will change moving forward?
Well, I will start with this. I think, like LB talked about earlier, I think corporate America will be more flexible because the expectation from the workers will be for them to be more flexible. I think people in a general sense will be more cognizant of the fact that viruses are real. If you don't wash your hands, you can potentially pick up something. I think people, and I do think some folks will still be consistently wearing masks. I think one of my mentors talked about this is the first year he didn't come down with a cold. He was trying to figure out what he did differently. The one thing he did differently was wearing a mask. And I think we're not the only culture that has adopted that practice. But there is China, they were wearing masks already.
Yes.
They were already wearing masks. So I think, there will be folks still wearing masks. I think you'll see more people carrying hand sanitizer. Hygiene will improve. And corporate America will be more flexible with how they handle workers and brick and mortars. I think the world as it relates to brick and mortars, I think that's going to change. I think you will see more online stores, less brick and mortars.
Okay.
Yeah, you answered all mine, fam. I
respect that. On everything.
With 3 points, he knocked it all out of one shot.
Right. They said you can hoop, but
But check this out, man. One, I want to say, man, it's been a very great conversation with you 3 gentlemen. Just on this topic. This is a topic that I know so many people want to talk about, right? They just don't know how to talk about it. They don't got the right information to really talk about it. But I think you gentlemen did a great job of just sharing your knowledge and the information that you have, and most definitely sharing your experiences. And I think my biggest takeaway, is just knowing that, just know your options. Like, we're not telling you yes to do it or not to do it. Just know that it's available. We want to make sure that if you do want to take it, that it's out there for you, and you can kind of make the best decision for you and your family. So before we wrap up, man, any final words that you want to say regarding our conversation on today?
No, man. I think what you just said was it, man. Take care of your folks and make sure you get the real information, right? Yeah. Be accepted to knowledge around it, but definitely protect your folks.
Absolutely.
Be selfless in this situation. I mean, it's not about you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say. It's not about you. It's about everyone else.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate it. So for me, I appreciate the dialogue, and I guess my parting thoughts would be, don't be afraid to ask questions. Because there's a lot of things in the world that we don't understand.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, if we don't ask the questions, we will never understand. So for me, when it came to COVID-19, came to vaccinations, I reached out to people who knew something about what was going on. And when I had to make the decision to vote yes or no to a mask mandate, I didn't make that decision in silo. I reached out to a medical professional, and I reached out to another medical professional. They said, COVID-19 is coming. COVID-19 is real. People will die. So I can either vote yes to save people's lives, or I can vote no because I'm concerned what may happen. Yeah. And ask questions, and you will get the answer.
Yeah. Sure. Cool. But man, again, as we wrap this thing up, I most definitely can't say thank you enough again to the city of Memphis and Blue Cross and Blue Shield for giving us this opportunity to have this conversation, right? Sure. So thank you all for your efforts, for really doing a great job to be intentional about getting this information not only out to Memphians, but to communities like North Memphis, South Memphis, and just the inner part of the city of Memphis. We really appreciate it. And again, thank you all so much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Let's do this again another time.
For sure, man. Appreciate y'all.
It's our best shot to get back to the Southern Heritage Classic.
It's our best shot to get back to in-person worship.
Get vaccinated. It's our best shot. Visit covid19.memphistn.gov for details.